Hello and welcome once again to Simmons and Simmons, looking back at my dad's 50 pantomimes. And today is a particularly exciting day. We've done some of these at certain venues. We've actually come to the house of a wonderful person who both my dad and myself have worked with in pantomime. Yes, it's the fabulous Lorraine Chase!
Hooray!
Hurrah!
Yeah.
Hello, thanks so much for letting us do this.
Oh, darling,
Brilliant.
it's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? This place, I always call it Miss Havisham.
Oh,
And here I am. I don't have the wedding cake or the mice.
no,
thank God.
sure, yeah.
But
What an amazing
never
place.
married, no
is-
kids, Miss Havisham.
But this is a lovely house, I have to say. It's beautiful, and thank you so much for inviting us into it. Because,
Darling, when you asked me, I was absolutely thrilled to be asked by you both.
Great.
Both our pantos together, which
Yeah.
you'll be better at remembering when and where they were.
Yeah. Well, where was it? 1988 was at the Ashcroft Theatre in Croydon, and that was when you played
gosh.
Aladdin.
Yes.
We had Geoffrey Holland from Heidi High, Edmund Hockridge, that great singer.
Yeah.
Gillian Taylforth was
yeah.
the genie, and my brother Alan and I were the Chinese policemen.
Yeah.
And I've just got to put in a word for Ron Aldridge.
Oh, yes.
yes, the great
because
Ron Aldridge.
he is the most delightful man.
Yeah.
And he played Abanaz.
Abanazar, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And then 24 years later, once we'd started working together, we worked with Lorraine again in Weston-super-Mare in Sleeping Beauty.
And instead of Aladdin, who you played in Croydon, this time you were playing the Wicked Queen.
Wicked
in
Queen.
Sleeping Beauty.
What a fabulous Wicked Queen as well.
Yeah, really was.
Oh, I'm a rotter, aren't I? I am a rotter.
No,
But
but
you were a rotter, but you were also hilarious as well. You got to have a bit of banter with the audience, which is quite rare for an evil character to have that connection and still be horrible and
Yeah,
scary,
yeah.
which is great.
yeah, no, it worked.
They
Really
used, they used to cheer when I killed her.
I remember, you have marks on the stage for the scenery. There was a mark for Princess Aurora. It said "Die here."
on the stage where she had to fall down.
And do you remember, I said to her, look, will you do me a favour? Will you go to die and then not die? And then go to die and then not die so that I can go,
Yeah.
and then give her a kick. Do you remember I used to give her a kick and go, she's dead.
Yeah.
Dead. Deceased.
I do.
No more. Brown bread fell off the perch.
I can't believe you still remember it.
No,
mate.
that's
Better
great,
than
that's
me.
great.
Girl. And that pantomime was with Terry Gleed as well, wasn't it? He was Muddles in that pantomime.
He was such...
You
well,
had-
everybody, that lovely couple who'd won...
No, they got to the final of X Factor, same difference, Sean and Sarah.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
right.
the prince, she was the fairy. Yeah, you're right, that was a really lovely company, everybody
It was
in that show.
a fabulous
We
company.
had Adam Day was the dame, wasn't he? He
that's
was
Oh, that's right.
the nurse in the pantomime, yeah.
And also the venue was so nice.
Yeah.
I had a dear little flat in a lovely Regency Crescent.
That's right. Remember, we came round for drinks, and it was.
And the walk along that,
Yeah, it's
oh,
doing
it
it,
was
yeah.
No, it was
beautiful.
lovely. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely town.
Yeah.
But going back to Aladdin in
Croydon.
'88 in Croydon, yeah, I was thinking about things that happened there because we were all mainly travelling home. It wasn't
Yes.
such a great social thing, was it? Because after the show, most people went there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do remember the lady in the canteen there. I don't know if you ate much at the theatre. They had a nice canteen. And the lady there, who I think was Iranian, she found out I liked curry. So she said, I'll make you a special curry.
Oh.
Yeah, but when I got it, I moved a bit of rice and there was a complete fish's head.
Oh.
A fish head under the rice, and it put me off totally. And without telling her, I had to go and dump this curry, and then went back and said to her it was lovely. That she said, "I'll make you another one." I said, "No,
No, it's all right.
Once enough.
It's a little bit tricky for me in panto because you were brave.
Yeah.
Curry when you have 2 shows a day.
True. Wasn't there a funny story from that one in '88
Oh.
involving Ron Aldridge?
Darling,
Oh.
darling, I have dined off of this story. Lovely Ron Aldridge, very tall,
Yeah.
very striking on stage.
Yeah.
And I always remember he very cleverly put two two sequins, green sequins on his eyes there.
Yeah.
So that every time he blinked, there was this flash of
Nice.
green, which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, that's a nice
So
idea.
we used to have this scene when he turns up and he used to say, I'm your dad's long lost brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, my dad's long lost brother. My dad never had no long lost brother. Oh yes he did, and I admit. Really? Well, my poor old dad died, Dad did. Oh, he died? Yes. Now, what you, well, not you, him
Yeah.
and
Alan. my
And
brother,
Alan, his
Yeah.
brother, had done was on the quiet. They'd told Ron Aldridge a really filthy story. Now, I never got to know what it was. Probably safe.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Yeah.
But they told him this dreadful joke about how he died. And they said to me, we've got a gag for you.
Yeah.
Asked Abanazar if he wants to know how dear dead dad died. So we're on stage. We get to the bit and I said, here, Ab, do you want to know how dear dead dad died? He went, I said, come on, do you want to know how dear old dead dad died? And he was going,
Because he knew this.
and he was in pain. I said, well, I'm going to tell you. And his face was a picture. And of course, I can't remember what the gag
No,
was
I
now.
can't. Thank
But
goodness.
of
Probably
course,
for the best.
but you two were in the wings, I remember,
yeah.
giggling away,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
told me afterwards. But it was very funny.
Yeah, great.
And it was lovely to see. He was absolutely frozen.
Yeah.
But also, I think that was the gag, that every time the geezer who was playing with O'Twanky or someone would always whack poor old Abanazar, and he'd get whacked with the iron, and he'd go, oh, we'd all go, oh, Oklahoma, where the wind is cruising on the sea. And as it got with more people,
Yeah.
so it got more and more as
Yeah,
more
yeah.
people were on the stage. Do you remember? I love running gags.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a
definitely.
great.
Again, a lovely, lovely show. I remember it very
Yeah,
fondly.
yeah. As I said, we had Gillian Tailforth as playing
Oh.
the genie, didn't we?
Gillian as the genie was
Yeah.
wonderful.
What was that song she used to?
She used to sing bubbles, bangles, great shiny beads, ding-a-linger. I remember. And,
Whenever.
yeah. Do you remember the first panto? Well, I think it was the Western Supermare one.
Yeah.
We had a meeting about the script.
Yeah, that's right. We came here to this
Came here.
your house. Yeah.
Do you remember the geezer who was with you? I think from Paul Holman.
Yeah, it was Lee Waddingham. He
Yeah.
was the associate producer.
Well,
of the
I'll
show.
never forget that
But
because
how do you remember everyone? You're amazing. But
I will never forget. We'd come here. It was the first time I'd met you. Well, I'd met you when I was 11, but I'd seen you for a little while. I wanted to make a good impression, and we were all being nice, having a lovely sort of chat.
I came
before.
up with a coffee.
Coffee,
We did,
you know.
yeah,
yeah.
before we
What was
talked
it?
about the script. And you've got some wonderful sort of furniture and ornate cushions and things in here. Lee saw one of the tassels on a cushion, thought it was a mouse, jumped and threw coffee all over his lap. So I think he burnt himself in a delicate area, but then you had to wash his trousers.
Well, I was he was mortified, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
Mortified. I said, darling, accidents happen. Take your strides off. He went, sorry, I said, take your strides off. I'll give you a towel, put a towel round. I'll have those washed and pressed before you know what's happening.
I'm sure that's the only script meeting either of us have ever had or he's ever had where he's just been in a towel.
And his under.
Absolutely brilliant.
I did a good job on those
You
strides.
did, yeah,
didn't I?
yeah. In fact, would you do these for me?
Yes, while we're here.
Yeah.
I've got to
And-
say, I'm not just saying this because we're here, but that year we did Western Supermare with you, we directed in Derby first, and Dad had stayed in Derby to put the show on there because it was
Yes.
the dress rehearsal, and so I started the rehearsals on my own in Western Supermare. It was my
You
first
did.
experience of directing on my own. I was a bit nervous, and as the star of the show, you were so wonderful to work with and made me sort of feel at ease completely, and it was really
I think
great.
you are just saying that because we're here.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's true. It was a really happy
It
show. That.
was.
And we had some good social occasions there as well. I remember you organised a quiz night for us.
Yeah, we had a
pub round
quiz
the
night.
corner.
I will admit, I bought a slightly cheap trophy, and they still have it in the theatre, and they still do the quiz night even now.
Oh, do
It's
they?
Well,
carried
how
on.
lovely is that?
Yeah,
that is
But
nice.
I'm not surprised because the theatre staff
Yeah.
and everything about that whole thing was joyous.
Yeah, it was actually, wasn't it? Yeah.
I've got to say as well, I mean, our producers, Paul Holman Associates, always have fabulous costumes, but I remember you had your own costumes in that run, and that was exceptional.
You know how to play it
Yeah.
because what you wear is so integral to how you play your
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
And I wanted the proper Snow White Wicked Queen with the thing going up here. And I was going to have the snoo thing. I thought was going to get hot. We won't have that.
Yeah.
But so what I had, as you know, was this long lace,
Yeah.
shiny black, it had bugle beads dress with this vast train that I had weights in.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that I could flick it and it would flick round to the side. And then I had two underbits, one that was black for the start and one that was cerise pink for the second one. But then I added things.
Maybe you did a routine at the start of the second half with all the dancers in sort of evil costumes, and there were these flame effects going on in the background. There was a giant skull on the stage, and there was they all had to lift you up, all the dancers, and you were up really high. I thought it looked fantastic.
And that bloody great thing on the head.
The only thing I thought was a bit unfortunate that year was because we were the King and Lord Chamberlain and you were Caraboss, we didn't have that many scenes together.
No.
We had one right near the end where Dad had this idea, because you were the evil witch Caraboss, of referring to Witch magazine, and there was a load of confusion about I've just been on the cover of Witch magazine, and someone would say Witch magazine?
Witch
no, it's
magazine.
called Witch magazine, but which magazine is it? Must have driven everyone mental trying to learn.
It was a good little bit. There.
Yeah,
I was
it
pleased
was.
with that. Great.
Well, I think that's the only thing left to say now. I mean, you worked together in the 80s. We worked together 7-8 years ago. It would be wonderful to work together again in pantomime in the future.
And that would be lovely.
Thank you. And thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
That would be lovely, my love.
Yeah.
Darling, I am so totally bowled over that you asked me.
Fantastic.
It is with joy.
Can I just say, because you can't really see it in the shot, this is definitely the only video we're ever going to make where Dad is sat on a sphinx.
On the Sphinx.
Fantastic.
We won't ask any more questions about this.
But thank you so much.
Thank you so
Lorraine.
much, Lorraine.
Pleasure.
Lovely.
Pleasure, my love.
Cheers.
Dreams come true and cutlets fry in the land of